There's one thing that Magnificent Bastards like almost as much as whiskey. We're talking coffee. You guys love the coffee. So we brought in a world-class coffee roaster. This is Jason Kane. His team over at Greater Goods recently won Micro Roaster of the Year, and he's doing some collabs with us. But I wanted to see how his 29 years of coffee tasting experience translates to your favorite whiskeys. Let's meet Jason, Greater Goods. Thanks for coming.
Great to see you, Rex, as always.
I'm very excited about this. Good.
Absolutely.
So Daniel's in meetings all day. Brianna's getting ready for our big event, big annual event, the Bastards Ball, with everybody in the Patreon. We got hundreds of people coming. She's getting that dialed in. Between the three of us, I'm the biggest coffee nerd of the bunch. You are going to be giving me, hopefully, some of your expert knowledge, and if it's worthy of a pour, then I'll set you up.
I see how it is.
I got a reputation to maintain. I can't just give away whiskey. So, how long have you been in coffee?
I've been in coffee for 29 years.
Oh my gosh. Hold on a second. I just realized I called myself a coffee nerd in front of somebody that's been doing this for 29 years.
But I love the perspectives of people that are not in the industry, because that's, at the end of the day, that's who we're providing coffee for.
Somebody, they're curious about coffee, they want to experience it, to have more appreciation for it at like a deeper level. What's one thing that you could reveal to them as they're getting into this coffee journey that they wouldn't immediately know unless they've been doing it for a while?
I mean, first things first, lead with taste, start to drink what you enjoy drinking.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of go down the rabbit hole, a number of different avenues. You can go different brew methods. It makes it exciting for people where there's some traceability involved. And that's like really what we've been trying to do in the industry.
No, keep going.
Try to like really shine a light back on the producer more. We've built relationships with these farmers over the last decade, so.
Okay, you have earned a pour. What are you getting on the nose? Because usually I would set a person up with how to nose and how to taste. Maybe there's a few things different with whiskey than with coffee, but you've been tasting stuff for a career.
Yes, indeed. Well, aroma-wise, there's like a little bit of caramel. There's some I would say some citrus.
Yeah, are you a whiskey guy? Do you have a favorite category? Do you rarely partake?
I like whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, I've liked all different types of whiskey. I'm not super into most scotches, but I've had some good ones, This is a bourbon.
All right, immediately, yeah. Cheers to you, thanks for coming.
Cheers to you, Rex. It's warming, earthy tones. Finishes like a little spice.
Little spice?
Little spice notes.
Like, the Smarties candy?
Yeah, it's like a little acidity pop there at the end.
Yeah, it's
That's nice. It's funny because we approach our customer base at a time when they're the most fragile, almost, like be it in their own home or at a coffee shop or wherever where they're drinking the product. Yeah. They're at their most like exposed because they're real sleepy usually. Right?
Okay, I just realized I get them whenever they're the most rowdy.
Well, I bring them up and you bring them down. That's it.
Okay, what do you think of this?
I like it. It's super accessible, drinkable.
What you're drinking is a Buffalo Trace bourbon, which I'm sure you've heard of being...
I've had.
Buffalo Trace is actually the oldest continuously running distillery in the United States. Yeah, it's turned into a landmark back in 2013. So they've been doing it a minute. How long has actual coffee exploration been a thing? Because I think back to like my grandparents and even like my parents' time, it was like a coffee's a coffee.
It's often thought about in waves.
Okay.
So like the first wave of coffee.
Yeah, what is that? I heard like third wave coffee. What is that?
First wave of coffee would be like the mass-produced Maxwell House coffee in a can, chock full of nuts type coffee. Now in the 90s, something happened pretty important to our industry, and that's like the proliferation of espresso. That's also brought about like things like Starbucks, and it's hard to believe, but Starbucks started as one shop.
Yeah, in Seattle,
Yeah, they're opening 2 coffee shops a day currently, so it's like more focus on speed and service. I think that a big change when the third wave sort of hit had a lot to do with the accessibility of information. People were able to share techniques that were working for them and really explore versus like, before the internet, how would anybody know anything? You'd have to read it out of a magazine or a book, and hopefully you just got that book. But just to like make it clear, like that's just a continuation of the second wave, and now we're into something even different now. Like the third wave was really focused on craft, quality, sourceability, like good sourcing practices and so on. And everybody's getting into a new wave, which we don't even know what it is yet. It's just like generations. This applied, nobody was cracking open that can of Maxwell House going, first wave coffee. So it's all just a way to understand history.
Now these whiskeys, by the way, the community chose this lineup as stuff that they are particularly fond of.
That's awesome. You can see the color of this is much darker.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit more time in a barrel, and it's going to be barrel proof. It's straight from the barrel, undiluted.
Cask
strength, barrel proof. Yeah, no water added.
I'm almost getting like a leather kind of smell off of it, but it is very compact. Like
Tight,
it's not
some peanut dust too.
Peanut dust.
So this is the kind of whiskey that I would, highly suggest that we put a few drips of water in to really open it up and explore.
I've done this before.
Yeah. Is there an equivalent in coffee where, if you really want to explore that, there's no cream or sugar, is it like a temperature variation, or is it once it's black, then you're getting the best representation?
When
of that
we're
coffee?
doing, like when you came to visit and we cupped coffee, we're cupping it through all the spectrum of temperatures, really from like the moment we can get it's not so hot that it'll burn you, and you can actually taste things, all the way down to when it's cold when we're evaluating. But when you think about, because this is a product that is made in a distillery, you can add mixers to this if you wanted to, I guess. Adding a drop of water to open it up is normal. But like with coffee, there's just a myriad of different brew methods that the person can use. And then within each brew method, there's a number of different parameters that can be changed.
Let's get into this.
Let's drink it.
Yeah, you can tell it's more intense, but it carries with it that more dense, rich,
The
thick.
mouthfeel is, it's like a pork chop or like a pat of butter almost.
Yeah, it is. So you're not afraid of like a high proof?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm not.
You can stay.
Thanks, guys. I live here now.
One of the best cups of coffee I ever had in my life. I was at my friend's family's lake house, and it was early in the morning, and he was telling me about he got this amazing coffee sourced. I don't remember what the origin was, but he's going on and on and on. Stumble into the kitchen, and he is just on it. He's getting everything, little thermometers, and very
he's
precise.
doing the whole thing, yeah.
I'm like, listen, what are you doing, man? Just heat up some hot bean water, and let's just get into the day.
But he refused, didn't he?
He refused. And he poured me this cup of coffee, and I wanted to give him a hard time. I couldn't. It was phenomenal.
It's eye-opening, right?
Yeah, all those little things. At what point is there, the diminishing returns with the futziness and the poking at it, or is like it all matters whenever you're doing that highly detailed process?
A lot of it comes down to the input materials. If that was just a mediocre coffee, he could have done all the weighing and stirring and slapping or whatever that he was doing. And it still would be an okay cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But taking that really good coffee and doing it slipshod still would be probably pretty good, but it wouldn't be the best cup of coffee you ever had.
Yeah.
So he probably spent time actually dialing in trying different recipes before he busted it out on you. And we do that at Greater Goods as well. Like if we have a real humdinger of a coffee that might cost, I said humdinger.
Got Jason Humdinger here.
I'm folksy. You see, we'll share different brew ratios and recipes on that stuff.
Where do people find that stuff?
Just on our website.
On your website?
Our blog, we'll have it.
Cool, we'll put that in the description down below.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of this one?
I think it's heavy duty. It's got some spicy stuff. It's got some pretty heavy caramel. Got a good sweetness up front, a little spicy in the middle.
What you're dealing with is Elijah Craig, barrel proof.
Barrel proof.
Yeah, and this is about as high as a whiskey gets. This is 68% ABV.
Wow, 136 proof. Probably should be done with that for the moment. Yeah.
So what do you like better between the Buffalo Trace and the Elijah
like them
Craig?
both.
What are you going to be reaching for more often?
The Buffalo Trace, just so I can have a larger quantity of it. Elijah Craig, neat, and I might throw a cube into the Buffalo Trace.
Okay, so you're not averse to throwing it on the rocks every once in a while?
I'm not averse to it.
Okay.
I'm not averse to much.
What about
really.
iced coffee? Do you have a principled stand against iced coffee? Or
No, I
anything?
don't have a principled stand against it. Cold brew coffee has been coming through the scene pretty hot and heavy lately, especially in the ready-to-drink market. I started working at Greater Goods. I was like, I never really had a job where you sell like ready-to-drink cold brew. And my boss, Trey, was like, oh no, in this market, you have to have cold brew ready-to-drink in kegs. I didn't quite understand how hot it gets here and how much people enjoy it.
Yeah.
But having said that, now I drink it every day.
This episode is sponsored by Helix.
All right, Helix Sleep. These are premium mattresses customized to fit your needs, conveniently shipped to your door.
I've been sleeping on a Helix and it's been great.
Once you get your mattress chosen,
Dude, it shows up rolled up in a box, but then you're opening it and it's like a burrito, right? It's like a really tightly packed burrito. It will just Did you see that spit fly?
you still are all over me.
it grows.
The sleep quiz is going to gather your preferences and suggest the mattress that are going to be the most likely perfect fit for you and a comfortable night's sleep. It's got a 10-year warranty, so you know that the quality is good, and it has flexible financing options, so you can not only get the mattress dialed in perfect for you, but also perfect for your budget. And they're fiberglass free.
You get a 100-night sleep trial.
That's right, you got 100 nights to figure it out to make sure it's the right one for you, and if not, they're gonna get you taken care of.
That's a ton of nights.
If you're gonna try Helix Sleep for yourself, you're gonna go to helixsleep.com/whiskey, and you're gonna get
2 free pillows.
and 20% off. This is one of the free pillows, by the way.
And 20% off.
Don't touch the pillow. This is one of my free pillows. At this point, I have about 10. Don't. This is clearly on my side. There's no. helixsleep.com/whiskey. 20% off, 2 free pillows. 2 is good because one little psychopath may steal one. Yep.
Oh,
You did drool on it.
drooled a
You
little.
drooled on my pillow.
Sorry.
I brought a pillow,
I don't
and
know
you
what
drooled on the
happened.
pillow.
I
No,
don't
I know
know
what
what
happened. You
happened.
drooled on it.
I guess it's mine.
Okay, let's get on the nose on this. Cheers.
I want to cheers you. This is fun. Stone fruit.
There you go. In this category, we're still in American whiskey. We're still in bourbon.
Yeah.
The honey keeps showing up, man.
Honey does have a very interesting, it's not a very like in-your-face smell.
Yeah.
Honey?
Yeah. But it's an intense taste, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yep.
Oh, that is easy peasy. Oh, it's like rock sugar candy almost. Like
It does finish very sweet.
it's very sweet, just the tiniest on the front of the tongue, like little tiny bit of spice, like warming spices, but nothing too pushy.
One of the things that I didn't fully appreciate when I was first getting into whiskey was why people got so enamored with the idea of the finish. It's like, well, okay, it lasts a long time. Who cares? I mean, does it taste good? But then the more I was talking with people, it's like, look, whenever you're spending $200, $250, $300 a bottle, when the finish lasts a long time, that means you don't need to go back yet. You're still enjoying it.
I'm still enjoying it right now.
Yeah, no, I can still very much taste.
Oh, it's also got like less of a flavor and more of a feeling, like a good numbing feeling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Almost like the Szechuan peppercorn vibe, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
that's like less of a flavor and more of a feeling.
What you are really enjoying is the wild turkey. It's the rare breed.
This is a real delightful
Yeah.
whiskey.
You're a fan of morning whiskey.
Yeah, more. I mean, you know, it's nighttime.
By the way, that wild turkey rare breed, that's actually a blend of 6-year-old, 8-year-old, and 12-year-old barrels.
Oh, that makes it interesting.
Yeah, so they are very intentionally putting together their barrel selection to get that profile, and it's beautiful. What is it about, the areas in South America and places like, in Africa that lend themselves to making really good coffee?
Well, there's a number of different things involved. So coffee only grows in the tropics.
Okay.
So between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Altitude is a major factor. So there's a similarity of conditions. Remember, once again, that all coffee comes from Ethiopia originally.
Really?
Yes. The Ethiopian highlands is where all coffee originally comes from. It was endemic to there.
So Ethiopia is
The birthplace of coffee.
going to be shifting categories. Okay.
It's very mild.
I'll give you fair warning. If you don't like this whiskey, I will fight you in the parking lot. No,
You can tell in the nose it's much more complex than the bourbons that we've had. And
Yeah.
you kind of hinted that we're going a different direction.
Yes, we're in a different category. This particular whiskey has been in my top 5 for a few years now. I've been to the distillery, I've met the people, like I wrap my arms around the giant pot still that makes the thing, which they highly frown upon, but I did it anyways because
Because you love it.
yeah.
I love you, pot still.
It's like nobody touched the still. What? What?
I'm hugging.
Let's go ahead and get on the taste here. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Oh, what? Oh, wow. So mild up front.
Yeah.
And then so much like baking spice at the back.
Yeah.
I just like, wow, that's a trip, man. It's delightful.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to have to fight either. So,
This is Redbreast 12 Irish whiskey.
dude, I knew it was Irish whiskey.
Yeah. Have you had Redbreast before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. It's from Middleton, same distillery that does Jameson.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a delightful color as well.
Yeah. Is there a certain, I don't know, single origin or style of coffee? If somebody is just really wanting to up their game.
I think it's just one of the best things to do is find a roaster in your area. Having coffee that's fresh is super important. I always tell people, like, get a French press and a good grinder.
Okay.
Like, spend the money on the grinder first.
Yeah.
And then you can go down the rabbit hole of all little doodads.
The French press, because one of the things that I've noticed is if there's somebody that's serious, they kind of turn their nose up at the idea of a French roast.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, there's something that happens in the roasting process where there's a handoff that takes place between the origin character of the coffee, which is what the coffee tastes like at a very light roast level.
Yeah.
And then there's a handoff that takes place sort of like little by little up to where it's just roasted completely. All coffees kind of taste the same at that dark roast level.
Okay.
Dark roasting, you can use it to hide imperfections in coffee.
Okay.
So a lighter roast will show more of what the coffee is.
All right, what are you getting on the nose of this one?
Sort of like there's some tannins there, like something leathery a little bit. Something a little bit citrusy, more like a candied citrus kind of.
Candied citrus.
Yeah,
and then
kind of.
And then some dried dark fruits, maybe.
Like dates sort of thing, yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you, this wasn't one that people voted up. Everything else people voted up. This is a Speyside Scotch.
Speyside.
Yeah, what you're in right now, this is Macallan 12. This, I wanted you to experience. We keep finding the nose to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's
fantastic
fun. It's
nose.
complex.
Right, let's get into the taste.
Let's drink it. Wow, that's so different. I don't dislike it.
Yeah, exactly. But
It hits you right away, though, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It doesn't. There's no like little mystery
It doesn't
playing
lead up
out.
to it, no. The nose, in my experience, you're set up for like this beautiful, complex journey, and then you get into the taste, and the taste is nice.
It's nice.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't deliver what the nose is promising.
It's interesting. It's the opposite of the nose.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
If it's the only whiskey I had in the house, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't kick it out of bed or anything. Not that I drink in bed, ever.
right.
What do we got?
No.
Banana.
We're still in Scotch. But
Got it.
Scotland, it's one of these countries where they have different regions, and the regions are very different from each other.
How often do you have to travel to Scotland in the
I've
course
just been
of
once.
your job?
I've just
You've
been
only been once.
Yeah. We were with a whole
I
bunch of
really
fans in the
wanna go.
community. You know what? Let's just do that. Let's just
Get the helicopter. Fire up the jet.
You know what? If you had a jet, you just earned a new best friend.
It's funny how that works.
Yes.
That's why I try not to bring it up. You know.
Right.
It's not coffee money. Labor of love. Man, we do it because we love it. Oh yeah, this is getting a little iodine-y.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's not beating over
peaty,
you. Not beating you over the head with
peaty.
it. It's like a thinned out pear or something light.
Like a poached pear almost. Like
Yeah.
something where like a crisp pear is very like juicy and a poached pear is very subdued.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's try it.
I keep forgetting to ask you about coffee. You got to earn these pours. You got to earn these pours.
Ask away, my friend.
Oh, yeah, no. All right, well, you know what? Let's just get into it. Okay, what are you getting?
I mean, it's smoky, very smoky.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, it's peaty,
I
but
want
it's
you-
it's like it's balanced. It's got
you
good
go.
balance between the sweetness and
Yeah.
sort of the earthy flavors.
I want you to remember the fact that you said this
harmonious.
was very smoky because we're about to get into some
yeah,
other
we're
stuff.
gonna get some weird stuff. I know. I knew you were gonna do this to me,
Okay,
but I'm here for it.
you're here for it. You're here for it. I want you to get in this one more time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that fruit more present and available than it was the first time around?
I mean, it's just right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Almost like a lemon custard, lemon curd kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's only there for a second,
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
gone. It makes it really special.
Well, and what is really cool about Highland Park 12, it's one of the relatively few whiskeys that will get into peatiness, but it's not beating you over the head with it. It's leaving plenty of room for the other sweeter, fruitier, citrusy.
Like you said, very balanced.
Yes, it balances a lot of things really, really nicely, really well. So far, what's
I
been
like
your-
it. I actually of something that falls into the peaty
Yeah.
sort of category.
Which is not your jam.
It's not my normal thing, but I appreciate that because it's not just hitting you over the head.
You know what? Let's hit you over the head.
Let's clobber me. I deserve it.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I hope.
And your unexcitedness doesn't bother me even a little.
Look at the color on this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost like rosy.
Yes, it is. This is going to be a sherry cask finish.
I didn't even need to put this up to my face to
You
smell this
already
bad
smell
boy.
it. It's just pouring out of the glass right now.
This is extremely peaty, very iodine-y, briny.
Yep.
You know, maybe this is gonna change my opinion.
Maybe. Okay, we'll get into it. So one of the things that attracts people to our community when it comes to whiskey is a deep level of appreciation for the complexity and all the different channels of exploration that you can go through with this spirit without getting snobby and pretentious about it.
Nobody's wrong.
Yeah, it's so interesting how it doesn't matter what you're getting into. It could be like beer, wine, cars,
Hot dogs.
Yeah. Yep, those hot dog snobs
Yep.
are the worst.
You know, if there's something out there, there's a snob about it somewhere.
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know, like some people are just very like, maybe they're closed-minded or maybe they're insecure.
Whenever somebody gets deep down a path, they want to feel like, okay, I know enough to have this elevated status amongst anybody else I have a conversation
I am
with.
right, yeah.
And it's not about, how much more I can know than you and how much better I am than you. It's how do we use this as a tool for a connective experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of it. Like at the end of the day, you work in whiskey, I work in coffee, but it's like the Matrix. I don't see coffee as much as I see people now.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, is like keeping in mind the goal. It's a great way to connect somebody with, Scotland to Texas, or for me, like Ethiopia to Texas, this big, beautiful world of people that are involved,
We're not going to fight in the parking lot. We're going to go hug and fly off in your jet.
Yep. We have to go one at a time, though. It's really little. All right, here we
We've
go.
been putting it off as long as possible. This is not your jam, but
I like it.
you do not.
I do. It's really sweet up front. I feel like the aroma, the strength of the aroma is more like in your face than the flavor itself. It's actually quite nice.
What you are tugging on right now,
Ayo.
is Ardbeg.
This is gonna go in my cabinet. It says bacon right on there.
Yeah,
There's
they
a
know.
flavor note.
They know.
Maybe that's why I like
On
it
the
so
front
much.
label.
Yeah, that's eye-opening. I think of the first like really peaty scotch I had was taken as a shot.
Oh, what are we doing?
Like when I was 22.
Oh, you can't.
It was like Lafroig or something like that.
Can't shoot Islet
It was
Scotch.
unaccepted. This is an excellent, excellent whiskey.
Awesome.
I love it. It might be my favorite, actually.
Are you kidding me?
I guess
Did we just open your eyes to a
think
brave
so. I
new
think
world
so.
of
I
whiskey?
think so.
Oh my gosh.
I love
God,
it.
Jesus.
Here's to you.
Yeah. Now, there's a very specific way you have to say this. Uigeadail.
What?
Uigeadail.
Uigeadail.
No, it's a little bit.
Uigeadail. Uigeadail.
A little bit.
Ooh, I can't. That's like a falsetto. I can't hit that. I can't do it.
Uigeadail.
Dog.
So we are actually doing a collaboration with Jason and the Greater Goods team. Right here in the middle, we have everyday sippers that we put together for you guys. We went there, we did a cupping, a whole thing. And then on the flanks, we have the barrel rested stuff that you guys have been trying for a long time. Got a bundle of 5 coffees for you to try out. Link in the description down below. You get all 5. We're gonna give you 25% off. Get them all, big discount, glorious coffees. Link in the description down below. Cheers.